Welcome or welcome back to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha, and this is a pick a card reading to find out what do people think about your look or image. I've got 4 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the Two of Cups. Group 2 is the Ace of Wands. These are all from the Urban Tarot if you're interested. Group 3 is the Two of Wands. And group 4 is the Princess of Wands. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice. Otherwise, I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. And all the information about personal readings, etc. will be in the description box. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well if you're not already subscribed. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in your reading. This reading is for you if you chose the Two of Cups. Let's see what cards you have. From the Secret Language of Animals Oracle, you have Falcon, Focus, Action, Purpose, Aspiration. And from the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Lunar Eclipse, Change. From the Vision Crest Tarot, you have Balance and Transformation. And from the Ancestral Path Tarot, you have the Four of Sacred Circles and the Prince of Sacred Circles. I feel like you guys may come across as someone who likes to wear a lot of dark colours. I feel like you may have a bit of a, not exactly goth appearance, but I do feel like you may have a bit of a fondness for darker colours or something about your aura and your vibe which says you may be a bit different, a bit alternative, something like that. I do see something coming through about your eyes being very intense and saying quite a lot. Like I feel like you may have gone through quite a lot of pain and people can see it through your eyes and it may give off a little bit of a, I'm hearing like emo or goth. Like I don't know if you guys wear a lot of dark eyeliner or some of you might have like natural lined looking eyes, like you know how some people just look like they've got like liner on all the time when they don't. I feel like you guys might be that person, or maybe you do like to wear a lot of black eyeliner. But either way, I feel like your eyes are very intense and they draw people to them. Like people can't help but stare at your eyes because they're quite intense. I feel like you have big eyes and they may be quite serious looking. You might have quite an intimidating aura, I want to say. It feels like people are attracted to you, but they might find you intimidating to talk to. So they might stare at you and want to talk to you, but they find that you're not really smiling. I feel like you guys rarely smile. Even in pictures, it's like you might look a bit moody. And I feel like it does kind of turn people off from wanting to talk to you. Not sure if you guys smoke, but I feel like you might be quite often smoking. And it's like something that's associated with you as like part of your look. Like it's a bit of an aesthetic thing for some reason. I'm not sure why, or if it's like people assume that you like incense and sage and things like that. I do feel like you come across quite calm and peaceful and introverted, I want to say, but like somebody who would be in a relationship. Like it feels like people think you're so attractive that you probably would already have a partner and they kind of wonder why you're alone all the time and they don't feel like they can talk to you because they think you're with someone else. But yeah, I feel like you come across very chill and very relaxed, even though you have like a seriousness and a strictness to you almost. Like I do feel like you might have an intimidating stare. And you might find that when people catch your eyes, you give them like a screw face or a dirty look. Like maybe you don't like it when people look at your eyes in public. I know for me, most of the time I don't. And it's just one of those things that feels a bit oppressive when strangers like want to stare in your eyes for too long or stare at you for too long. So yeah, I feel like you guys might have that energy. Like people get the impression that you don't want them to stare at you. Like you look angry when they look at you for too long. I do feel like you guys might come across as a bit angry sometimes, but not in an aggressive way. Like I feel like you're chilling and you're peaceful and you're minding your business. But it's like people try and look at you or they try and approach you or they try and ask you for your number and you give them like a dirty look. Like, why are you talking to me? Like you give them a dirty stare. So yeah, I do feel like you may be in a relationship or people may assume you're in a relationship. I feel like you may change your look from day to day and give off different impressions depending where you are, like depending whether you're out and about doing something special or if you're just doing something day to day, like going to buy groceries, or if you're at work. You may have very different outfits and maybe throughout the month you have different routines and different outfits that you like to wear. I'm not sure if you guys have different jobs that you do. And it's like depending on how people see you, like what context they see you in, whether they think you look really glamorous and dressed up. And I want to say rich, like sometimes you look rich and expensive and like your clothes are really high quality and very long lasting and long wearing and intriguing versus very simple clothes sometimes. I feel like you might like to wear a hood a lot and you might like to cover your hair maybe. Like some of you might wear a hijab or a headscarf or like a turban or some other kind of head wrap. I feel like that might be a particularly prominent message for someone. It's like you dress modestly and you like to cover up and you don't really like to show your hair to people. And I do feel like that maybe comes with the fact that maybe you don't like people staring at you too much. Like you don't like people taking in too much of your energy. I really do feel the energy of head coverings coming through. Like people don't really get to see all of you. They don't get to see too much, but they do see your eyes and they stare at your eyes. Like does someone wear a niqab or a burqa? Like something that covers most of your face, or a balaclava, or something like that. It's like barely any of your face shows. And it does seem to give off maybe a bit of an intimidating image, like nothing is visible except your eyes. And maybe your nose. I feel like some of you have like a bit of a prominent nose that is quite a unique shape and it gives off like an ancestral vibe. Like it tells what ethnicity you are, it tells where your ancestors are from. I'm not sure if some of you are like Native American, Native Islander, or like Caribbean. I also feel like Asian is coming through. Someone who is maybe from a background where it's not very obvious what ethnicity you are. Like maybe some people find you ambiguous looking and very intriguing, like they want to stare at you. I'm feeling lots of people watching you have like a brownish skin tone. Like it could be beige-ish brown, or it could be quite a rich, deep, chocolatey brown, like very deep brown. And I feel like it's very stunning and it's very beautiful. And I feel like people do maybe wonder what part of the world you're from quite often, because I feel like you do have very prominent features that tell, like they kind of give away where you're from if it's like someone who knows what they're on about. But I also feel like you have other features which may be a little bit less obvious, and people might quite often ask you. I know in the UK this is like a bit of a racist conversation starter that people like to ask people who look like me and similar to me. It's like, where are you from? And they don't mean what part of the UK are you from, they mean what country are you from. And it is a bit racist, to be honest, and I want to say you guys might be very put off by those kind of comments, and I understand if you are. And I do feel like it may put you in the wrong mood, which is why some people do get your bad side, because you might give like, what the fuck did you ask me? And I feel like it is like an intimidating aura when people come up, like strangers will come up to you and ask you, where are you from? Like, what race are you? And it's very offensive to you. I feel like you do have like a bit of a sad feeling about that. And I also feel like you may have a particular facial expression that you carry sometimes, which seems, again, it's like a bit intense and a bit serious and a bit sad almost. But I feel like your closest and nearest and dearest people don't see you that way because they don't come up to you with the wrong energy. This is really coming across as like people are really attracted to you and they want to know everything about you in a bit of a almost like stalkerish way. Like they're a bit harassing with you. Like you're really attractive and you seem like you're minding your own business and chilling and not paying attention to anyone. I feel like you don't like to make eye contact. Like keeps coming through, like you hate making eye contact with strangers and you will refuse to look their way, but they will like force you to. Like they keep staring at you. Honestly, I hate when that happens to me as well. It's like you're walking down the street and someone's like staring at you and you're looking at the other direction, and maybe they do then come with a sideways question like, where are you from? And you're thinking like, huh? I don't even know you. Sorry for the random messages, but I do feel like the people who love you and the people who get you, they don't really see you in any light other than you're so gorgeous and you're so attractive and you're so sweet and you're really caring and you're very gentle. And I feel like people do really admire you in a way where you seem larger than life. You seem like a bit of a boss. I do feel like some of you come across like someone who has a very important job, a very important role, and you seem to be someone who works really hard. I feel like you may have a face that shows like dark circles under your eyes. Maybe it's not eyeliner, but you maybe have like a crease or a a shadow under your eyes from how many hours you stay awake working. And I feel like it really comes across to people that you're quite serious and hardworking, and maybe you don't play that much with people. I am also seeing like maybe a lot of black and dark colours and things that you like to wear, to the point where it maybe comes across like a bit mysterious, a bit emo, a bit, again, like gothic. Not all the time though, I do feel like that's only occasionally. And again, it's coming through, you might be a smoker and you might like to smoke weed as well. Like I feel like some of you guys might have a bit of like a hippie stoner aura, or like a laid back kind of conscious spiritual vibe that people like to associate with maybe someone who does like to like burn incense and sage and maybe like cannabis and things like that. So I feel like you're very interesting to people and they're interested in you based on the first impression. But you seem really disinterested. And I'm not sure if it is because you cover up or because you like don't make eye contact with people. But yeah, I just feel like there's something kind of spectacular about you in like a stare-worthy way. But it makes you really uncomfortable. So I feel like people get your worst side when they stare at you too much. I feel like you stay at home a lot and you don't really like too many people to see you. You may come out mostly at night. So again, that might like influence the way people are like perceiving you. Like they might see you when you're wearing more covered up clothes because it's maybe cold at night. Maybe you live in a cold climate. And yeah, I feel like you do generally not like to show very much skin and not really like to show too much of who you are to people. And I feel like it's very intriguing energy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading group 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this reading or if it resonated with you, and don't forget to leave me a comment. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and if you'd like a personal reading, please check out the information below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Ace of Wands. Let's see what cards you have. From the Secret Language of Animals Oracle, you have Lion, Power, Loyalty, Leadership, Family. And Polar Bear, Solitude, Friendship, Strength, Resilience. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Jupiter Return, Benefits. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have the Nine of Water, Joy. And Daughter of Air. And then from the Ancestral Path Tarot, you have the Two of Swords and the King of Cups. I feel like people find your features extremely gorgeous. I'm seeing there's something that's coming through about your nose and cheekbones that's very, very, very delightful and attractive. I feel like you have one of those faces that seems familiar to people, like they recognize you almost. I'm not sure if you're a very old soul and you've been here many times. And it seems like you have like one of those recognizable vibes. Or maybe for some of you, maybe look similar to a lot of other people. And maybe they look at you and think you might be a relative or a cousin or something like that. But I am seeing you have one of those friendly, likable, charming faces that people really enjoy looking at. And I feel like you do have a lot of charisma that comes through even just on first glance from your eyes and your facial expression. I feel like you might have a bemused look sometimes when people are talking to you, like you have a lot of thoughts in your mind that you don't like to share with people. Like your private thoughts are entertaining and you're slightly amused to yourself, like laughing at your own private joke that's not let in on anyone else. People, they kind of assume that you're very loyal. I'm not sure if people always see you with friends or if you're always with, I'm hearing like the gang or like the group or your family. It feels like you come across like one of those people that does not shy away from being loyal or being engaged in those kind of situations or outings. It feels like you come across like your very loyal friend and always with your friends, and you have backup. I'm hearing like something's coming through about like you're always having backup. I'm not sure if someone wears a mask regularly or you like to cover your face or something like that. And I'm feeling like you might have sometimes with the wrong person, like certain people, you might give them a look that tells them that they don't want to talk to you too much more. Like you look at them and it says like, please stop looking at me or please stop talking to me. Or I'm kind of over the conversation. Like I'm seeing your eyes are expressive. And when you're in a good mood and if you like someone, they'll pick up on it very easy if you find someone amusing or entertaining, they're going to kind of know that you're enjoying their company. But some people, I feel like you give them a very intimidating, unhappy with them kind of look, or refuse to look at them altogether. And I feel like they do kind of get the message that you don't want to be bothered and you don't want to be troubled. I feel like you seem very luxurious, like you're living your best life. It feels like your clothes are very high quality, very expensive. Maybe designer clothes, it feels like you give off the impression of money and success and freedom. Like maybe you have a lot of free time and you seem like you're like maybe when you're out and about, it's like days and times when other people are always busy with work. And people think you live like a luxury life of leisure. But I do feel like you're not always out and about. And I feel like there's sometimes when nobody sees you. And like, honestly, for what people think of your look, I feel like there's not always that many people to have many thoughts about you because you may try to keep yourself a bit away from people in some way or like cover your face or try not to be noticed by people. I'm seeing you maybe have like a vibe of someone who doesn't want to be bothered too much by people, even though you do have like a friendly, sociable vibe. I'm really feeling like you're very attractive and you look kind to people, but sometimes they may test you, like give you the wrong energy and then you change all of a sudden and give them like a mean look. And then they get the message and like leave you alone, I'm seeing. I feel like you seem very intelligent and your eyes give off an impression of intelligence. Maybe the way you dress and the way you style yourself, it seems very classy and sophisticated and uniquely put together pieces that are, again, like are hard to find and rare and maybe very expensive. It seems like you have a great grasp of colour and you like bright colours. And I wonder if someone's favourite colour is blue and you maybe give off the impression that you might be a water sign to people. I'm not sure why. It's like something's coming through about like sensitivity and I don't know. I think it's the blue. Maybe you like orange as well. Like fiery colours and then also very cold, cool colours. I feel like it's very interesting for people who see you because they maybe don't get to see you for long. Like I feel like they may see you at a distance for a glance and then you've turned your back and you've already walked away and they would love to follow you and catch up with you and talk to you some more. But you've already gone your way. I'm not sure if you have very long hair or quite thick hair, like full hair, that people really like and admire. And for some of you, I feel like if you're female, they might want to ask you if it's a wig. Is your hair real? Is that your natural texture? And I feel like it is, but maybe for some of you it's not. Maybe some of you wear really long hair. Do be careful with hair because this is very random, but between you and me, some of those hair packs that you buy where they're real human hair, the hair was shaved from a slave by force. So do be careful if you are wearing someone else's hair on your head because the hair might have very bad energy attached to you. And I feel like some people are very spiritual and they think certain things about the fact that if you do wear a wig, it's like they think certain things about the choice of wig is kind of saying something about you. And it could say something not very positive all the time, but to some people it might be very positive, like, wow, that hair is so nice. Where can I get that hair? But other people might think, ooh, that hair is like really stolen from somebody who didn't want to give it. Like people who've researched into like the hair industry. I'm sorry for the random comment, but yeah, let's move on to the next message. I feel like if you're a male, you seem very serious and very driven and very determined. And I do feel like you have a lot of energy in your eyes. Like you may come across wiser than your years. And again, what's coming through is very, very, very deep intelligence and like deep thoughts. You seem like a deep thinker and someone who is reflective and intelligent and I want to say sociable but introverted at the same time. Like you're happy to be out in the party with people. But you do like your alone time. It's like there's a limit to your social battery. But that being said, I feel like you're very fun and you're very funny. And you have a lot of jokes and I feel like it comes through even on your face. There's like something, like I said, like a personal joke in your mind sometimes and you're kind of like smiling to yourself and people want to know what's so funny. You seem very happy, I want to say, and like you're really independent and living your best life. And I want to say like you're not influenced by too many people. Like you prefer to set your own style trends. Like I don't feel like you dress like everyone else. Again, like you have very unique individual pieces that you may have bought a very long time ago. They also may be traditional pieces that maybe no one else can get because maybe you bought it very long ago or it was handed down through generations of your family or you bought it in a different country. or something like that. It just feels, or maybe it's like handmade or homemade or tailored just to you by some professional tailor who makes your clothes for you. Or maybe you just buy those like one of a kind pieces. I don't know if it's like designer pieces that are like a one of a kind rare outfit or like a rare off the rack kind of piece. I'm not sure if it's like custom made or off the rack, but it feels like it's giving a very big impression, and I feel like people do want to talk to you a lot, but you may not give the impression that you want to talk to them back. I'm not sure if you're a writer or a poet or a creative of some sort, but I do feel like people get that impression from you. For some reason, it's like you come across very creative and inspired and free thinking and free flowing, and like you have a lot of interesting thoughts that you would share with people, but maybe not verbally. Maybe it's like through writing and not through conversation. I'm seeing there's something coming through about you seem lucky, or you seem larger than life, or maybe some of you are you famous, or yeah, I'm not sure if one of you is famous watching and it's like people are like, yes, I saw so and so, like I can't believe I saw so and so, I'm so excited, and maybe they want to take a picture of you, and maybe they want to ask you for your autograph, and I feel like it's something coming through about you're familiar, like you look familiar, and then maybe they look at you and realize they follow you. Or something like that is coming through, like they're really excited and happy to see you, and they want to like push through a crowd to run towards you and make eye contact with you and greet you. And I feel like it might get a bit overwhelming sometimes. Like, do they literally like jump you and physically put pressure on you or touch you without your permission? And I feel like you can get quite rageful and angry when people do that. But you might try and keep your cool and keep your calm, even when people are like getting up in your hair and stuff like that. I'm not sure if people ask to touch your hair because it's so beautiful, but I feel like you give them like a no kind of vibe. Like, how dare you ask to touch my hair? Rude. And I feel like that's one of those things that is really impressive about you. Like, you have gorgeous features, you have absolutely stunning features. I feel like your face is incredibly symmetrical and very, again, like wise and refined and perfectly set in a way that is natural and authentic. And there's something coming through about your face having a pull to people. Like, they can't look away once they look in your eyes. It's like they just want to stay there forever. Like, your eyes are mesmerizing. I'm not sure if you have golden brown eyes. There's something coming through about like reddish brown, amber, gold. I don't know if you like a lot of gold jewelry or jewelry in general. It feels like you do maybe have some like bling bling that you like to wear that does give off a rich impression. I'm seeing for someone it's ice and not gold. It's like diamonds. Your diamonds are glistening in the sun or the moonlight, and it gives a very refined, wealthy impression. I'm seeing someone likes to wear gloves and maybe like a hood, or that came through in the last reading, a hood, a mask, maybe a face mask, like a COVID face mask, but you also wear sunglasses and a hood because you prefer not to have people stare at your face all the time. And I feel like there's something like desirable about you. I feel like it's almost like people want to cuddle you and touch you. And I feel like you don't necessarily want that. Like, you seem like you don't like that. You don't like when people touch you. But for some reason, they find you really attractive and assume that you're cuddly and assume that you want to be felt up. Rude. Ugh. I feel like people come to you with a bit like a too much sometimes. Like, they're just all over you and you don't understand why. You guys should know it's because you're really attractive. Like, you have stupendously gorgeous features. I want to say you have really wide cheekbones that are like really smiley looking. And I think that's maybe why people think you're open to them cuddling you or touching you or putting their hand on your shoulder or like tapping you on the back instead of saying like, excuse me, are you so-and-so? Or excuse me, could I just ask you a question? It's more like they'll come to you with a bit harassy energy sometimes. Sorry, these readings are coming through so funny, but I do feel like you're very striking looking, and I feel like you're a one of a kind. Even if you do have familiar features that maybe some people find, you look either like someone they know, someone they follow, like someone who they actually do follow, like a celebrity, or maybe like a relative, like a long lost relative. Like, maybe you could be their like third cousin, four times removed or something like that. I don't know if you have a child, or if you're always hanging out with like a younger sibling or a younger friend, But I feel like people get the impression you're very caring as a result of that. Or if you're always with your family, it's like people think you're really caring and like you care about nature and animals and situations outside of yourself. But I do feel like you do actually like a lot of alone time. And there's something, I don't know, it's something funny coming through about how people perceive you versus who you actually are. And I feel like they don't expect you to be so deep sometimes. Like some people look in your eyes and they know you're deep, but some people, they maybe have like a certain impression of you, especially if you are famous and you're kind of known and followed already. I do feel like people have got a closed eye mentality to certain parts of you, and they see certain sides of you, like what they want to see, and maybe the most direct first impression they have is very contrast to the person you actually are, I want to say. And I feel like it doesn't really bother you. You kind of made sense of yourself and you know who you are and you know where you're going. And I feel like you do have like a set direction in life and you don't ask anyone's permission. You don't need to know what anyone else is doing, even if it's a day when you're hanging out with your friends. I feel like you may be like the leader of the group and you have that aura where other people just want to follow you. You seem popular. You seem in demand. You seem intelligent. You seem cautious and kind of considerate. Like, I do feel like you may be wary with people sometimes. And you give them a look that is a bit intimidating. I am seeing this like royalty energy coming through. Like you are someone who's a bit of a king or queen, or again, like you've been here for many times, you've come back around, lifetime after lifetime. And people may know you from past lives where you were very famous if you're not famous in this life. Like, I feel like you may have been a king or a queen, or not exactly like the prime minister or the president, but something along those lines, like you were a somebody. And I feel like it is a bit hostile sometimes, the attention you get. Like, I'm not sure if some of you have had lifetimes where you were very tough and strong, or maybe in this lifetime, you have to be very tough and strong and ready to defend yourself at a minute's notice. And I do feel like that energy comes across, especially when people bother you too much. I'm not sure if you have a very nice house. Is there like a place you go and sit right outside your house and people assume you're very wealthy because of the house you live in or the kind of land you own or something like that? It just comes across like you have maybe a bit more than other people in your neighborhood. Like you might live in the nice part of the neighborhood. I know that's a bit of a strange thing to say based on your look or image, but I do feel like that is adding to it. It's like the home you live in is representative of you. It's like you dress it to match your personality. And it feels like people are very, very comfortable with you, but maybe too much so for your liking. Because I feel like you personally don't actually want too many people's attention, but they want to give you attention. It's like there's something that does come across grabbing of people's attention about you. Even if you would prefer to just walk on by and not notice them, I am strongly seeing someone always gets asked for like autographs. If that's you, please come for a reading. I feel like we are meant to meet. And I feel like we're meant to know each other. So do get in touch with me. My email address will be linked in the personal readings information video below. But yeah, I feel like this is a really nice energy for you guys. I feel like you have very intriguing aura and an intriguing soul. And I feel like it's very important for you to not have to worry too much about what people think. I do feel like you don't really worry. But you do get like the wrong looks from people sometimes. Like people are looking at you and staring at you, and I feel like you do kind of dog them out in your mind, and it can get you in a bad mood sometimes and maybe make you want to retreat into your house and not see anyone for a while, or belly up, I'm hearing, like mask up, hood up, and not want them to see you, or close your eyes to the world. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. And I want to say, tell people your truth when they do try and come too close to you. Please feel welcome and confident. I see you're very confident, and I feel like you're able to tell people when you don't want their attention, but you might be a bit reluctant to do that because of, especially if you do have like a big image and a big name. I feel like people are liking to chat about you and type about you and things like that. This is very funny. I'm knowing this is not really about your look and image, but I still think it's resonating with someone and it's relevant. So yeah, come for a personal reading if that's you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you can find my personal readings information linked below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Two of Wands. Let's see what cards you have. From the Secret Language of Animals Oracle, you have Lizard, Tuatara, Dreaming, Sight, Knowledge, Hidden Gifts. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Libra, I Balance. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have Grandmother and Mother of Air. And then from the Ancestral Path Tarot, you have the Ace of Spades and the Hermit. I'm seeing some of you maybe on the older age spectrum, maybe not like elderly or anything, but I do feel like sometimes you may be around people who are like younger than you, so they think you look more mature than them, or they just find that you're mature in your energy. And I do feel like some of you may have children, and I feel like you may always be with your children. This came up in another group, but I do feel like you give that parental kind of energy. Like there's something a bit observant and serious and cautious about you, where you're kind of aware of your circumstances and aware of what's going on around you and protective of yourself and others. And I do feel like it comes across like a bit of a guardian energy, like you're a bit of a protector, you're a bit grown up compared to other people around you, and you could be the same age as everyone else in your friendship circle, or you could be young, but I just feel like you give off a maturity and a wisdom. Maybe for some of you, you look like old and young at the same time. I'm not sure what it is. It's like something coming through about wise beyond your years, or you come across like an old soul, or it's something like that. Or maybe you're older than you seem, like you're actually really, really young looking, but you are quite a few years older, and it's like people wonder what age you are when they look at you. It's like, how old is that person? I feel like you're very interesting looking, and you have a very interesting side profile, which is very beautiful to people, and I don't know if you guys realize how beautiful it is, but I do feel like you have a significant, beautiful side profile that people actually would want to take photos of. They think it's so stunning. I'm not sure if you're a model or something, but I feel like you have like model-esque photogenic features where you probably have like quite a sharp jawline and quite a sharp or defined nose. Can we say it like that? Like a defined nose. I want to say prominent nose. That came up in another group. And I feel like you have some, I want to say pride to your appearance. Like I feel like you look like you take pride in your appearance, and you come across a bit proud, maybe like you might walk with your head held high. Not in a too proud way or not in an arrogant way, but more like you're very confident and sure of yourself, and you don't have anything to feel bad about. I feel like you have a daydreamy energy sometimes, like you might be away with the fairies, like maybe your eyes are a bit glazed and you're not paying attention to the people that want your attention and looking in a different direction. And I feel like they come up with all sorts of ideas about you, like they want to know who you are and what you do and what you're thinking. I really feel like they do want to know what you're thinking, like they're very interested in where your attention is, like they might follow your gaze to find out what you're looking at so interestedly. I do feel like you have a uniqueness about you where you maybe come across like you're a bit of a different person. Like not many people dress like you, not many people look like you, not many people share your features. And I do feel like you maybe have some behavior patterns that are kind of independent, can we say? Like, I don't know if you like to spend a lot of time alone. I don't know if you are a bit of a hermit and you don't really talk to too many people when you're out and about. You might go around on your own. Some of you might always be with your children as well, and it's like other than your children, you're not very receptive and social to people. And I feel like people would like to spend more time talking to you, but they might feel like you're not receptive in that way. Like they might feel like you just want to be alone and you don't want to be bothered. And I do feel like it's rare that you're paying attention to people who come across you, say like when you're out and about. I feel like there's some people who are very admiring of you in a way where they find you extremely beautiful, I want to say, but in a way that's unattainable. Like they would want to hold you and touch you and be around you, but they find that you're in your own zone and they can't come close to you. Like, there's not really many people that match your appearance as well. Like, not many people match your intelligence and your vibe and your. I want to say, like, the nose you have, it's like very unique, and the face you have, like your eyes, they're very unique, and no one looks like you. And I think that's very unique and amazing for people. Like, they want to know you, they want to follow you, they want to talk to you and find out a little bit about you. You may be very serious in your appearance, like you don't seem to smile very much. You may have a bit of an aura of greatness, I want to say, like someone who is, again, it's coming through like wise beyond your years, like much more mature than you would seem at first glance. Like, I do feel like they look at your face and think, you don't necessarily look your age. But I do want to say some of you might be a bit older and you command respect and attention from people. Like, they look at you as someone who knows where they're going and knows what they're doing and may have like very good advice for them. You seem like the sort of person where people would ask you for directions all the time because you just seem like you're knowledgeable, I want to say. Like, you seem like you know everything and you seem like you know where you're going, so they may want to like follow you and ask you where they should go or like what they should do. I feel like you have a unique outfit that you like to wear. I'm not sure if it's a particular one that you wear or if it's every day how you dress, but I feel like you maybe wear patterns and clashing colors. Like, maybe you have an outfit that you wear that has like lots of colors on the same, I want to say like maybe a tracksuit or a dress or a matching like top and bottom set where there's like clashing prints or like maybe you do like to clash prints and clash colors. And I feel like you guys wear bright colored clothes quite often, but maybe sometimes you get into like your black and gray and navy phase. I also feel like brown is coming through a lot, like the color brown. For you to wear, you might like earth tones as well as very bright colors that clash. I feel like you balance your outfits very well and your features balance each other very well. And everything is like set right, like your eyebrows perfectly match your eyes. And those both match your nose perfectly, and your lips match perfectly, and your jaw is perfect. And I'm hearing your hair is really beautiful. You may style it very nicely. I'm not sure if some of you have I'm feeling someone has like a short spiky style, someone has like very long hair. Someone wears their hair in a bun watching this group, and I do feel like you may be quite into changing your hairstyle. And it may change your outlook and may change your vibe and change how you interact with the world even. I'm not sure if somebody has like grey hair but you sometimes dye it black, or dye it back to its original colour and it makes you look a lot younger than you did before you dyed it. And I also feel like I want to say you guys are gonna still look really gorgeous in your old age if you're not anywhere near there yet. Like, say if you're in your 20s or 30s. I feel like when you do start to get up in your more mature years, to the point where you do have a few greys and stuff, you're still going to look so beautiful and people are still going to want to notice you and they're going to honestly respect you even more than they even do now, because you're already coming across as someone who has that aura of someone who should be respected and admired. And I feel like you do have a very eagle eye, or like an eager eye. Like, I feel like you're very observant and noticing. Like, I do feel like this has come up before in a reading, but you seem to be the sort of person where you can tell someone like, hey, you just dropped £1 or you just dropped $1, or is that your phone that's just fallen out of your pocket? It's like you're the sort of person where you are very acutely aware of your circumstances and everything around you. And I feel like you're observant in a way that is deeper than most people would be. Like, you don't miss a trick and you pay very close attention to people. It's like your eyes that tell people that. Like, you may narrow your eyes sometimes, like when someone tells you something that you don't believe. And I feel like the way you look at them is like saying a lot, like it has like a lot of deep meaning. And I know this is not like the shallow first impression that you guys might have been hoping to be read on, but I do feel like it's an important thing to say, because it is like something that people get just from looking at your eyes. It's not something that you say or do. I feel like you have very statuesque beauty or handsome good looks, and you're maybe like very tall in stature, or your build is very attractive to people in some way. I'm not sure what it is about you that's very attractive in the build, but I'm not sure if some of you are like a bit larger and it's like very impressive to people, like maybe you're very tall, very large shoulders, even like a bit of a stomach for some of you. It's like they pay attention to you, like, wow. Maybe for women, it could be like big breasts and hips, and it's like people stare at you, like, are you a stallion or something? And they stare at you because your body is like freaking incredible, and they're thinking, like, oh, wow. It's like your presence fills up the room or the street, and you walk with a presence. Like, you do have a presence about you. I feel like you're very, very, very fluid in your like choices of outfits and things like that. I feel like you can change your vibe on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes you might really want to put in a lot of effort and put on all your jewelry, and if you're female or if you wear makeup, then maybe like go all out with your hair and makeup and things like that. And then other days where you may really prefer to just like, I'm hearing like sit at home in your pajamas, or maybe even like some of you might go out in your pajamas, or really laid back clothes with like no styling and no makeup and no jewelry and absolutely nothing. And I feel like you're very confident either way, and people think that you look beautiful either way. And it feels like you're very sexy to people in a way where lots of people are attracted to you, and lots of people think that I want to say lots of people think that they're very compatible with you just based off the look of you. And I'm not sure what it is. It's like maybe you dress in... It's coming through that you dress in quite unique clothes, but I'm feeling like they're quite compatible with a lot of people's tastes. It's not like you dress very out there. Even though some of your pieces might be really intriguing and ask-worthy, it just feels like it's kind of like a lot of people's taste. It doesn't disagree with people. I do feel like you have a very agreeable good looks that most people would agree that you're stunning or gorgeous or sexy. You may receive a lot of attention from people. I also feel like people may want to follow you a lot, like online. Like, I don't know if you have a very beautiful profile picture or your images on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I feel like people do want to stare at you and watch you. And I feel like they think about talking to you, but they think maybe you're married or you have children, or you're too old for them, or you're too young for them, or something like that. It just feels like they don't really want to try and impress you. Even if they do really, like, they would prefer to, because maybe they think that you're destined to be with them. Like, they feel like you're perfect for them for some reason. I feel like you have a sensuality about you, which may come from soft fabrics or very beautiful fabrics, or the styling of your hair or something. I just feel like some of you have a sensitive delicateness to you, and also this like proud, humble at the same time attitude where you keep your head held high and you don't think you're better than anyone, but you also do know your value, you know your worth. And that's coming through very strongly. You do know your worth, and you have a very impressive bone structure is coming through. It's like your bone structure and your features are just like so perfectly harmoniously balanced that I feel like lots of people would like want to shoot their shot at you when they see you on the street. But they may just watch you from a distance instead of talking to you, because you do seem busy or disinterested or focused elsewhere. And I feel like you're intellectuals and you think, and you're very good at communication, and you seem interesting, like just from your eyes and your facial expression. It's like that is enough for people to feel really intrigued and want to know more about you, but also maybe not very confident to actually approach you. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this reading, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And check out the content in the description box if you're interested in personal readings, Patreon or PayPal for donations if you're feeling generous. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Princess of Wands. Let's see what cards you have. From the Secret Language of Animals Oracle, you have orangutan, laughter, curiosity, patience, play. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Sagittarius, I see. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have Father of Air, Son of Fire, Five of Water, and 8 of Earth. And then from the Ancestral Path Tarot, you have the King of Sacred Circles and the Prince of Swords. I feel like you guys seem very youthful, even if you're not. It just feels like you have a very youthful energy. You seem quite fun and playful and charismatic, just based on first appearances. I feel like often you're very smiley and very charming and charismatic, and you seem to have like very sweet energy, but I also feel like you can get into sad moods, and I feel like sometimes people might see you looking very sad. And I feel like when you get sad, you might end up showing more of your age and not looking younger than you are anymore. So yeah, I feel like you have potential to vary depending on how much sleep you've had and recently how well you've been eating and how well hydrated you are and things like that. Like I do feel like you guys are maybe at the age where your habits start to show on your face. And when you're doing very well and eating good food and drinking good water and relaxing and not stressing, I feel like you look extremely youthful and playful and fun. And then there's times when you do maybe get a bit stressed and people can see it on you and you seem different in that way. So yeah, just bear in mind there may be like different people who see you in different occasions, in different ways. And also for you, you may come across differently depending on what you've been doing recently or how well you've been sleeping and, like I said, taking care of yourself recently. But I feel like you do have a fun energy, like no matter how you physically look to people, it's like they do look at you at first impression and think that you're very fun. And I feel like you may come across as a bit of a daredevil. You come across extremely confident and eager to know people, I want to say, like eager to get to know people. I feel like you have quite an intimidating aura and quite a stare. Like you can stare at people sometimes and it gives them like a bit of a, I want to say like a bit of a feeling. Like it makes them feel some type of way. Like I don't know if you feel the same energy back from people, but I feel like people can catch different vibes depending on you and your intention towards them and how you feel about them. And it's like your eye contact, it says a lot about your mood and how you're feeling. So yeah, I do feel like people are not always getting the same impression from you. It's more like how do they come across to you, and you maybe smile at them or you give them like a severe stare or you give them a stern look, and it kind of varies from person to person, the impression that they get about you based on the image you're giving them. I do feel like you come across like you're maybe very big, like not like in stature, but like in personality. Like you seem to have a charismatic, cheerful and playful and fun side, which I do think is quite obvious from just meeting you on first glance. I want to say you have a wisdom about your face. It's like people would think you're very young, but then they might look at you a bit longer and realize you're older than you seem. And they kind of tell from not your features and not like wrinkles or anything like that, but more like the look in your eye, like you seem too much, you've done too much, you've experienced too much to be the age they initially thought you were. Like I'm seeing some people might think you're a teenager, but you're actually like in your 30s or something, or even your 40s. I want to say for somebody, it's like you're almost 40 or you're pushing 40. And some people think you're like 19, 20 or 17 still, or even younger, and then they look at you and they maybe get into your eyes and realize like, no, you silly person, like that person is definitely not 17, they're definitely more like 24 or 5 or something like that. And I do feel like you have very interesting, I want to say the eyes and the hair are like very beautiful for people, and it's like there's something serious about your impression that you give to people just based on the first look, which is a kind of shielding yourself from them knowing you too much, but also giving quite a lot of what you want to give to them. It's kind of like a, hey, why are you looking at me kind of energy. Like, hey, I see you. Like they kind of recognize that you may have read them, I want to say. Like, I don't know if you have a psychic sense. And when people catch your eye, they kind of maybe feel like too personally known. That's a very weird message. But I do feel like you can give people like stern, disapproving looks sometimes. Like, for example, if they stare at you for too long and rub you the wrong way, you might give them a very serious look that says, don't even try it, or something like that. I feel like you maybe like to wear the sort of clothes where it shows a bit more of your body. Maybe you live in a hot climate and people can see how toned and beautiful your body parts are. I feel like you have very good muscle definition. You guys may have a very beautiful medium brown skin tone. For some of you, may have like an orangey undertone as well. And I feel like it's very radiant. Like you catch the sun and it's like golden brown and very warm and beautiful. And I do feel like some of you live in warm climates. I'm seeing majority of you might have black or brown hair, but some of you might have red hair. Like maybe your skin tone is not like the brownish, orangish, but maybe your hair is like orange or red. Some of you might have red skin as well. Like take that how you mean. It could take that however you interpret it, whether it's like red undertone or red meaning you can kind of see the veins through the brown skin, or red meaning like native in some way, like a native island population. But I do feel like people think you're extremely stunning and youthful. That's really coming through. I don't know why, but you seem earthly, like earthy to people. You seem like you care about animals and the planet. I don't know why, it's like first impression. People think you're very gentle and compassionate and like a humanitarian and someone who's very good with business and money. You seem to be quite professional and have a good standing in life, at least from people's first impression. I don't know what your job is. Your job could be anything, but I feel like people take you quite seriously when they meet you. Like you do seem impressive in some way, like you have some business that you're attending to. I don't know if you seem very busy all the time when you're out and about. Or maybe people only see you, like, do some of you guys stay at home a lot, but people see you on a platform, like maybe they see you on YouTube, they see you on Instagram, they see you on a stage sometimes. It's like they maybe don't see you in real life, they see you behind a wall or behind a window or something like that. It just seems like maybe people only see you, maybe when you go to work, like you only leave the house to go to work. So people always associate you with like hard work and busyness and having things to do. I feel like you're not very chill when you're out and about. Like you seem not on edge exactly, but like you are kind of ready to go if you need to go, and ready to work and ready to focus on your day and ready to get your errands run. Like you don't seem to be just like passing time when you're out and about. I don't feel like you're very often hanging around in a context where lots of people can just like see you and see you being relaxed. It's more like when people see you, it's time to get to serious business. And it's very admirable. So I feel like people's most common impression of you is that you're very good at what you do and you're very impressive to see. I know it's not just your physical appearance, but it is coming through. It's like first glance of you. People are seeing you as like a worker, a hard worker, someone who gets shit done, like you know how to get the job done. And also you might be very, very good with your movements. I'm not sure if some of you are a dancer or an athlete, but I feel like the way you move, like the way you walk, the way you carry yourself is attractive or beautiful or intriguing in some way. Like I'm not sure if your hand is always like in a different position from some people's, in a way where it's like really pretty, or it's coming through you have pretty hands or really beautiful hands in some way. There's something interesting about your hands. Does someone have a hand tattoo or a forearm tattoo or a forehead tattoo? It's coming through about something to do with maybe artwork on your body, inks on your body, or maybe your clothes are like art. I'm also seeing some of your face is like art to people, and they really can't stop looking at you, to the point where you may have to give them some energy back when they're staring at you for too long. And it feels like you can get upset easily if people do try to stare at you for too long. It feels like you do start to want to shield yourself from them. But yeah, you have a very attractive look that does, it's noticeable. Like people do see you, they really do. Like people would see you coming out of a crowd, they would go to you first. And I feel like you don't understand why people look at you sometimes because you think you look normal. It's really coming through that you think you just look like everyone else. But there's something really, really, really spectacularly beautiful about your features, whether you're male or female or non-binary. And it's coming through that you dress really amazingly and you have different tastes to some people, even if you feel like you dress really normal. I don't feel like other people see you that way. They see you as someone who has like a braveness to them, I want to say, like something different. Like some of you might show more flash than some people, and some of you might dress more covered than some people. Like you might have really nice jackets and really nice hats that you wear, which you just find is like your everyday hat and your everyday jacket. But to other people, it's like, wow, I've never seen a hat like that before. I've never seen a jacket like that before. And I do feel like you have an intriguing sense of personal style and taste. And you may style your hair in a way which is, I'm feeling for someone it's like beachy waves or like kind of loose texture waves or loose curls. And for others of you might have braids or locks or twists or finger coils. I'm feeling like a lot of different styles. Maybe you do like to change your hair between straight and curly or straight and wavy. And for some of you, might sometimes have it long and sometimes have it short. I'm also seeing someone's coming through as a maybe balding a little bit, but I feel like people still find you extremely attractive and it suits you. And you may wear a hat to cover it up a little bit. But yeah, I feel like it gives you a distinguished impression and you would look very young to the person who is balding a little bit. It's like you would look very young if you didn't have the little bit of a hair thinning or something. It's like you look more mature because of the fact that you have that. So it's like something to be proud of and something to not shy away from, because I do feel like otherwise you may look much too young for the sort of people who want to talk to you. I feel you have a intrigued look about you. Like you're always interested in people. Like if someone starts talking to you, I feel like you do give them your attention. You do well with eye contact, I want to say, even if you don't want people to make eye contact with you. I feel like you're good at it and you give off very interesting thoughts. Like you're funny and you're intelligent and you're witty, but also you don't take no shit from anyone. It feels like you're quite tough and slightly intimidating to some people. Like you're not to be played with and not to be messed with and not to be effed with. Because I do feel like you've had a lot of sadness and sometimes it shows on your face, and it might show more if people look at you for too long. You might start to look wary of them. I feel like you don't trust too many people and people can kind of tell that you don't really want them around you. Also, I don't know why, but you may seem dangerous in some way. I'm not sure why. It's very strange energy. I'm not sure if some of you, maybe it's the kind of aura you have, like maybe some of you clench your fists sometimes when you're walking around, or you maybe have like a shoulders up kind of stance, which is like you're kind of ready to pounce on someone or like ready to go to war if you have to. I'm seeing for someone, maybe you're a soldier and you have like an army uniform that you have to wear, or a police uniform, or some kind of uniform that you wear for work and only work, but it's like gives a lot of background context and information. But yeah, I'm seeing you guys have somewhere to go all the time and places to be, and people don't get too much time to look at you and observe you. But you seem grounded and you seem humble and you seem clever and you seem funny. And you're very good looking, and I feel not many people know how to approach you because they maybe think that they don't really know what to say to you and maybe it's a bit risky. Like it's coming through that people find it risky to talk to you. So yeah, try and, I want to say if you want to be approached more, try and smile a little bit more. Like if you see someone attractive, try and make eye contact and smile with them. Because I feel like they're much more likely to come over, and sometimes you might feel disappointed that people don't come over to you or don't talk to you. But I do feel like you may have a bit of a screw face sometimes, or a bit of a serious face, like your eyes are a bit narrowed, or you look a bit moody sometimes. Not in a too much way, but it's just more like I don't think I will actually talk to that person because they look like they would say no to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading group 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed here. You can find details of my personal readings in the description box, as well as Patreon and PayPal for donations if you're feeling generous. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.